The top 20 athletes of the BCSN era, presented by First Solar, continues tonight with Greg Frankie's top swimmers. Justin Feldkamp and Greg are standing by.
Let's dive into the pool for this latest segment on the top 20 sports athletes per sport here on Sports Nightly, and it is the top swimmers, and we combined boys and girls. Let's take a look at the list in alphabetical order by last name. Jack Barone, Phil Barone, Julia Beer, Nick Brody, Mia Buff, Scotty Buff, Libby Dockenhaus, Dan DeSalle, Jack DeSalle, Michael DeSalle, Rachel Jerzak, Zeta Fields, Kath Fisher, Zane Gordon, John Majerus, Haley Roberts, Emmy Seaman, Christian Sobzak, Lauren Sullivan, and Rowan Williams. So when I see that, I'm going to start with Scotty Buff, a state champion from St. Francis, currently swimming for the Florida Gators in the Southeastern Conference.
Yes, it was a tremendous privilege. I had the opportunity to witness him setting a national record in the 100 fly, and it reminded me so much of watching Eric Kennard on BCSN break the state high jump record.
Yep.
And it sort of just made everybody feel like this guy's got a future. We gotta keep an eye on him. And of course, he went on, an Olympic gold medalist, and many people were thinking the same thing, especially because it was a national record, not even just a state record. And when we had our BCSN awards, his grandfather, Scott Seeliger, who is a great coach at Bowling Green State University for the football program, AD and football coach at Bowling Green, he was just as proud as could be, and he definitely came by his abilities, honestly. But he was just really, Scotty Buff, just a sample of that great St. Francis program. When you talk about swimming in Northwest Ohio, you have to talk about St. Francis. They've emphasized their program to such a great degree over the years that a lot of those names, you just can't help but put them on the list. One year I remember in particular, so Cincinnati St. Xavier is just, they dominate high school swimming. I think Beaver Creek got them a couple of years ago, but except for that, just year after year after year, they won the state championship. St. Francis took them down very, very close to beating them one year, and then the next year they had their whole team back, and everyone was feeling for a whole year that this is going to be our time. And unfortunately, one of their very top swimmers got injured right before the state, and they fell a few points short. But the Barones in particular are on the list. Have to mention how strong they were. DeSalle's, Dan DeSalle, a longtime commentator for us. Eric DeSalle was a MAC and a Big Ten swimmer, respectively, but 3 DeSalles on that list. It really goes according to families, a family tradition in swimming, and it's reflected on the list. But St. Francis just lights out job for 20 years.
Yeah, and not only them, but a lot of other schools and conferences and leagues across the BCSN viewing area represented on your list.
That's right, and of course Mia Buff right there with Scotty Buff. She performed at the States for St. Ursula that day that he set the national record. In fact, he had a couple of great names, Julia Beer and Kath Fisher from Perrysburg. Perrysburg's had a great program, a couple of other guys on that list, and certainly it is Libby Dockenhaus. I remember she was a great volleyball player for St. Ursula, had a tremendous volleyball career at Bowling Green State University, but also, I mean, you see so much specialization, but she was a top-flight swimmer, too, and one of the best athletes we've had over the years.
20 very deserving names on this list. Let's take one more look at them, boys and girls on this list, as we continue to show you Greg's top 20 athletes per sport as we culminate 12 months of celebrating 20 years of the network of BCSN here in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan here on Sports Nightly.